And welcome to our presentation about the company Carbon. Our team is made up of Anurag Rai, Parish Alto, Mac Hamilton, Macklin Batchelor, and myself, Harman Kaur Bhupal. Carbon is a 3D printing company based out of California. They have additional offices in Atlanta, China, Japan, the UK, and Germany, so they have a global reach. The company was founded by Joseph Desimone in 2013 and it has since grown significantly. The current CEO is Ellen Kullman, who was previously chairman and CEO of DuPont Chemical. A little brief history of the company after their founding. In 2014, they introduced the CLIP technology, which stands for Continuous Liquid Interface Production. This technology uses photochemical processes that can work 25 to 100 times faster than the then standard layer by layer approach. In 2015, they issued their first machine and got the patent. In 2016, the company pivoted to a subscription-based pricing model. The company has partnered with several major brands, including Ford, Vitamix, and Adidas among them. They can be considered a 3D printing unicorn, and the company is valued at over $2 billion. And now to Anurag for a look at the industry.
We look at the 3D printing industry. First of all, the structure. The industry usually comprises of printing manufacturers, also called the hardware, the software developers, the material suppliers, and the service providers. Moving down the value chain, we see the end users. They are mostly automotive sector, the aerospace and defense, healthcare sector, and consumer industries. The automotive sector consumes the largest market share, while the healthcare sector has the largest growth rate. Looking at the financial outlook, we see that the industry was valued at $6.9 billion in 2017 and is growing at a rate of 22%. The industry also has a low profit margin. So we see that the key drivers in the industry, this is because of the increased use of 3D printers in aerospace, automotive sector, and is also in the medical applications because of the use of prosthetics and bioprinting. Secondly, there's reduced cost of 3D printers. And finally, there's mass customization because of use of creative and customized products. Now moving to Macklin.
We chose the industry dynamics framework to outline the life cycle of 3D printing companies and how the industry currently resides in a rapid growth phase. The 3D printer was invented in 1983, and by 2009, the industry market value had reached $1 billion. The industry market value reached $2 billion in 2012 and is projected to reach $23 billion by 2023. Firms are expanding product and technology capabilities. Eventually, we will see this industry move into the shakeout phase, where they will switch from product innovation to process innovation. And as the industry approaches this phase, firms will look for strategic partnerships and implementation of their products. Next, Mac will discuss identification of 3D printing competitors.
Looking at the graph in this slide, we see that 70% of the 3D printing market share is made up of smaller players with less than 1% each. That includes Carbon. The major players consist of a handful of companies, two of which are manufacturing giants, HP and GE. As it stands today, we see that no one printer or method has set itself apart from the rest of the market, and to that point, Carbon has a great opportunity to capture meaningful market share. I'll now pass it to Parish to discuss strategic challenges that Carbon faces.
Thanks, Mac. So as Anurag and Macklin both mentioned, this industry is a low profitability industry. As you can tell from the chart, profitability has been decreasing and only recently upticking in 2018. This is because of increasing R&D costs as companies try to keep up with changing technologies, increasing competition as more competitors enter the growing industry, and high resource costs as manufacturers compete for these high demand resources. As a second strategic challenge, I want to talk about the increasing competition. This increasing competition is a major challenge because of three main reasons. First, that companies like Carbon are reliant on partnerships, like Carbon's partnership with Adidas for continued growth. Second, we see this as a crowded marketplace. As Mac mentioned, it is mostly made up of small companies where there is no market leader to emulate and team up against. Lastly, it is hard for companies like Carbon to create patented technology. It is expensive and difficult to get all the legal mechanisms out of the way. Next, I'll hand it back to Macklin to talk about the rest of the PAST framework.
We identified these two strategic challenges while looking at the company through the PEST framework. For political and legal, we discussed the patented clip technology that offers unique, time-efficient competitive advantage, and other firms' ability to secure patents may hinder Carbon's ability to widely penetrate new technologies. For economic, while demand for 3D products is increasing, profitability has trended downward. And for continued success in the face of price wars against competition, Carbon must implement cost-efficient practices. For the sociocultural aspects, we must keep in mind that individual consumers' interests could potentially bring new lines of business to the company, and Carbon must balance current B2B operations and strategic partnerships with increased individual consumer growth. For technological perspectives, high R&D expenses as the technological landscape of the industry is constantly evolving will be a huge factor in profitability moving forward. And to remain competitive, Carbon must constantly strive for innovative products, but this comes at an extremely high cost.
Despite the challenges and dynamics our team has explained, Carbon was still listed as a top 10 3D printing company in 2019. With its high level of success in its short history, we feel that the company is well positioned to meet the challenges facing its industry. Thank you for your time.